Welcome back. Well, it's highly likely you have received a barrage of election texts from the trumpet of patriots. And today, the Prime Minister has weighed in saying he'd back a ban on the spam. Joining us this afternoon on The Debrief is Kate Emery from The West Australian and Brooklyn Ross, newsreader of the Kyle and Jackie O Show. Good afternoon to both of you. The Prime Minister says a ban would be the reasonable thing to do, but he's not sure exactly how it would be lawful nor democratic. Kate, what are your thoughts on this?
Look, this might be controversial, but of all the things that annoy me during election campaigns, receiving these dodgy sort of spam texts is reasonably low on the list. Like, yes, they're annoying, but I'm sceptical that there's a lot of voters who are looking at this kind of nonsensical text and thinking, yeah, they've got my vote, bingo. So I think they're kind of a waste of money. Parties will probably wake up to the fact that they're kind of just annoying. But for me, it's a delete and move on with my day.
Brooklyn, I guess I agree with what Kate's saying there, but some people I've spoken to have said, first of all, they're not only annoying, but the question many of us are asking, how did they get our phone number? Some of us feel like it's a breach of privacy.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, our phone numbers are on these lists that anyone can buy, and we do have spam laws that generally stop this, or at least force people to put in there the link that says, opt out, don't send me any more messages. But, surprise, surprise, political parties are exempt from those laws. So when Anthony Albanese says, I'm not sure what I could do, well, just get rid of that rule and that would solve the problem. But politicians don't want to get rid of it because they all could benefit if, in the future.
Talking about the election, all the polls, and as we know, sometimes they can be wrong, are pointing to an election win this weekend. The big question, will it be a majority or minority government? The other interesting stat to come out of these polls and surveys is how many voters are undecided. Kate, what do you think that says?
I think it probably suggests that voters have perhaps been a little underwhelmed by the election campaign. We know that more and more voters are drifting away from sort of the two major parties, and so perhaps they're trying to decide, if they will go with one of the majors, if they'll go with one of the smaller parties. But I think the campaign has been a little bit underwhelming. I don't think that either side has necessarily delivered a knockout punch. So to some extent, I'm not surprised, but I do wonder how many people are going to rock up to the polling booth on Saturday and just sort of make their decision in the 10 minutes that they're there.
Brooklyn, I've heard some people who have been interviewed today saying basically it's the devil you know and the devil you don't in regards to the two major parties. But what's been really interesting is how much of a fact the Donald Trump chaos, especially with the tariffs, has had on our election campaign.
Yeah, that's right. And we've just seen in Canada, they've stuck with the government they've had, even though the polls for a long time were saying that government there was not going to win. As soon as Donald Trump came in, things turned around. So, potentially that's what's happened to Peter Dutton here. Australians have seen the chaos coming out of the United States and thought, well, what we need is for things to kind of stay the same so that we can deal with that. Potentially that's what people are thinking. I don't know. But the polls, they really have Labor ahead. So it's hard to imagine any other results on Saturday.
We'll wait and see on the weekend. Moving on now to our distrust in artificial intelligence. This is a new study by the University of Melbourne, which has found only 30% of Australians think the benefits outweigh the risks, the lowest of any country in the world. Kate, your thoughts on this?
I'm not surprised to a large extent that there is this scepticism. I think for all that we've been told by sort of Silicon Valley billionaires how AI is going to revolutionise our life, I think a lot of us sort of see so far, it's made search engines worse. Now kids at school and uni are just using ChatGPT to write their essays. It's chewing up a huge amount of energy at the time when we're dealing with a climate crisis. And I think there's a real sense out there that perhaps AI, instead of sort of making our lives and our jobs easier, might just be, taking our jobs and doing them less well.
Oh, Kate, no. You haven't been on ChatGPT properly. I'm going to send you some prompts and it will change your life. I get there are concerns and will jobs be around in another 10, 20 years' time? But it can be so useful. I don't know how you say it's made like Google worse. I just think it's great. What are you talking about?
I think you're in the 70% and I'm in the... Oh, wait, you're in the 30%, I'm in the 70%.
The only thing I'd say is sometimes when you see these AI-generated videos and images, sometimes it's really hard to work out what is fake and what is real, Brooklyn.
Yeah, well, that's true. And, you know, we can just tell at the moment, but give it another 12 months, 2 years, 3 years, it's going to be really difficult. And, I mean, that's going to cause a lot of problems. It will get to the point where even seeing something on film, on video, we won't be able to believe it. So, yeah, that is a problem. But I think we just get used to it. We kind of got used to photoshopping and just thought, oh, well, it doesn't mean it's real, even if they look beautiful. We just know.
And Kate, finally to a celebrity chef clash. The founder of Recipe Tin Eats has accused the founder of Brookie's Cookies of plagiarising her recipes for some delicious dishes in her new cookbook. Now, Brookie rejects the claims but has offered to remove them from future reprints. Kate, what do you think of this?
It has got so messy so fast, and it seems like a real case of she said, she said. I think that a lot of people are going to be sort of combing through Brookie's Bellamy's cookbook and looking to see if any more similarities to other chefs. On the one hand, having had a quick look, yes, some of them look really similar. On the other hand, I'm not a chef. How many ways are there to make caramel slice? I've got no idea.
Brooklyn, I'm happy to taste test any of these recipes to see if they taste any similar.
Why aren't they here right now?
Yeah, correct. What do you think about this? Because, you know, in some recipes, there are only certain ways to make a certain dish.
Yeah, I guess so. And out of a whole cookbook, really there were two recipes that were found to have been, you know, a little bit copying. But you're not going to buy a cookbook just for 2 recipes, right? Like, you're buying it for the whole experience, the whole photos. I don't think just a couple of recipes that are, you know, quite similar should be enough to cancel someone's cookbook, in my opinion.
You just use AI, wouldn't you, there?
I think she might have too, to be honest.
Kate and Brooklyn, we appreciate your time this afternoon. Thank you.
Bye, Tash.
Thank you.
Well,